So today we're going to journey into the centre of the Sun, and we're going to start at the core. For your GCSE, you're expected to be able to order the different layers of the Sun from the core, the first one, the very centre, to the corona. So we've opened up the Sun, and let's plunge in. So welcome to the core. It's a bit hot here. We're about 15 million Kelvin. To get that sort of temperature on Earth, we'd have to probably shoot off about 2 billion nuclear weapons to get that sort of temperature. And I'm afraid the core is quite big. Once you're here, you're not going anywhere very quickly. This is about the size of 1,000 Earths, the core of the Sun. Okay, welcome now to the radiative zone, and I'm afraid it's not much better. It's still 2 million Kelvin there, and any energy that's managed to escape the core is still in for quite a long wait before it manages to see space, because the photons, the energy that's escaped from the core, are going to bounce around inside the radiative zone for at least 100,000 years before they manage to get out of it. Because it's so full of gas particles, it's so dense that these photons are constantly bumping into other particles. Okay, so if you finally make it out of the radiative zone, you into the convective zone, and that's much more comfortable at just 5,800 degrees Kelvin, and you've got these convection currents where photons are finally being converted into heat, and they're moving out, and you've got these cooler columns sinking back down, so you get sort of a rolling effect, which is quite beautiful. Okay, so now you've made it to the photosphere, which is about 5,500 degrees Kelvin, and you might regard this as the sort of surface of the Sun, although of course it's not a solid surface. And this is where finally these photons and this heat that has been produced many hundreds of thousands of years before can finally escape to space, and about 8 minutes later hit the Earth. Okay, so of course we should mention that the photosphere is important too, because it's where we see the sunspots and the solar flares originate from, and where the solar prominences also originate from. Now here we are at the chromosphere, which is sort of like a sort of fiery forest. Later on we'll see some spicules I'll point out to you, but one of the mysteries of the chromosphere is that the closer you are to it, the cooler it is. So it starts off at about 4,000 degrees Kelvin, but as you pull away from it and go into space, it climbs up to 100,000 Kelvin, and no one really knows why. Now, in this view of the chromosphere, these sort of like these trees that are burning up, these are called spicules. Okay, so well done, you've managed to survive to the corona, which is something we can only really see during eclipses. Although, believe it or not, that sort of crown, that Latin word for crown, corona, is extending about 1 million kilometers into space, so it's pretty huge. Temperature, pretty uncomfortable at about 2 million Kelvin.